Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Tech Bytes podcast. My name is Dan Hafner, and I just want to start the episode today by having a quick apology to all of you that there was no episode last week, the week of Labor Day. So my quick 2-minute excuse is that on Labor Day, on Monday, we were kind of running around doing a bunch of different things with a bunch of different family, and I just did not have a show prepared for Tuesday. And then I was actually going live Friday, and there are guys doing like ripping up stuff along our road. And I believe they literally cut the internet connection like 2/3 of the way through the show. So it was like, shit, terrible timing. So I was like, well, screw it. I'm not even going to redo it. I had too many other things going on. So we're back this week though, guys. Hope you guys all had a good long weekend last week. And it is a brand new week. We're getting into the fall season. The Q3 is coming to a close. Exciting stuff going on. And today we're going to talk. I have a couple contrasting stories I want to dive into because I was kind of going through stories and I was like, what's really going on here? Like, is AI stealing jobs, like some people say, or is it adding to productivity and adding jobs to the economy, like some people say? There's this conversation going on between two different like sects of conversation of people that AI is just taking everyone's job and it's the apocalypse, or it's adding millions and billions of dollars worth of value to the economy and adding tons and tons and tons of jobs. So what is it? Like, what is the truth there? Is it somewhere in between? Is it one or the other? We're going to dive into that a little bit today. I'll give you my thoughts on that. So without any further ado, let's just dive into it. I won't even give you guys a little bit of promo here. You guys know where you can find me at Dapper No Code or Launchpad. You guys should know that by now. If you haven't, you can please subscribe to the channel, and that really, really helps. So let's dive into the first story today, which is, before I get into the other conversation, I wanted to cover this one as well. So AI is disrupting entry-level marketing jobs, risks future talent pipeline. So are marketing jobs a thing in the past? Interesting. Here's the story. AI automation is significantly impacting entry-level marketing jobs, with firms like Preston Spire reducing junior roles due to AI handling repetitive tasks, raising concerns about the future talent pipeline and mid-level staffing shortages. Industry leaders, including Amazon Web Services CEO Matt Garman, criticize replacing entry-level employees with AI as short-sighted, since they are inexpensive and crucial for organizational growth. Meanwhile, AI is also poised to reshape corporate leadership, with futurist Michael Chong predicting AI will assume roles akin to co-CEOs. I talked about that as well, driving continuous operations and strategic decision-making. In sales, AI-powered digital co-sellers are transforming B2B processes by automating routine tasks, enabling personalized outreach, and enhancing relationship building, though they are seen as collaborators rather than replacements. Despite fears that AI might depersonalize commerce, some experts argue brand loyalty remains strong because consumers internalize brand preferences, suggesting brands still hold significant influence even as AI changes marketing dynamics. Interesting. Overall, AI is prompting companies to rethink workforce structure, leadership roles, and customer engagement strategies while balancing efficiency gains with long-term talent development. Okay, interesting, very, very interesting stories. Let me dive into my thoughts on this. I think I talked about this in a previous episode here on the podcast, the channel, was, can AI be your technical co-founder? And if you haven't, check out that video or that podcast. I really encourage you to go back and listen to that, because basically what I said in a nutshell was, yeah, maybe, but possibly, right? And we dive more into that in that video. But can AI replace mid-level or entry-level marketing jobs? Worked for a marketing company, marketing and advertising company, that we did ads for lawyers and stuff like that for a little while. And that's a very interesting space. I have not been in there. I've not been in touch with the company since I left. But I'm very interested to see kind of what, companies like that are doing these days. Is, you hear all these things of SMMA is dead. And I was like, what the heck is SMMA? It's social media marketing and advertising, right? So it's very, very interesting. I think that that's a very good approach to have, is like, should AI replace this? Do you need a Do you need human touch inside of this thing, or is this something that can literally be automated and delegated? I do. I think that I would probably say that, I mean, they say it right at the first sentence, impacting entry level marketing jobs because AI can handle repetitive tasks and, small level, low level impact things. If there's something that's a low level impact, but it's a low priority to be implemented, like that is something that can be definitely delegated to AI. And if that's your entire job is just doing busy work, I mean, I hate to break it to you, I think that is probably at risk with a lot of this stuff that's coming along. Now, can AI be your co CEO, right? Like driving continuous operations and strategic decision making? I mean, I would say, yeah, I think that like I use ChatGPT all the time as an advisory tool, as something that, hey, I have like a specific question about what move should I make next? Here's what I'm thinking. I'll spend 10, 15, 20 minutes sometimes prompting a ChatGPT into, hey, here's what I'm thinking. Here's what's going on. And due to that memory feature that it remembers stuff that I've talked about for so long, I add in that little phrase, based on what you know about me and my business, what would be the course of action you'd recommend? And that's proven very fruitful. That proves to be very, very powerful. But again, it has to be prompted. It's not just another co-founder that's sitting over here in this chair behind me that can actually proactively reach out to me and say, hey, have you thought about this maybe? That is that generative AI, which I think that, I think we're probably kind of far away from. But I don't know. I'm not. We'll get into that in the next story of like the godfather of AI, kind of predicting a bunch of different things in this employment circle. And I was very interested to kind of hear about this because read this story because I think that I've seen things where Facebook is saying, or Meta now is saying they don't want to have agencies anymore. They like literally want people to go directly to them to be able to run ads and procure business and do that kind of stuff, which basically cuts out the middleman, which is all of the AI, or the advertising marketing agencies that basically relied on Google ads, Meta ads, Instagram ads, those kind of things will run your ads for you. Can AI do a lot of that now? I don't know. I mean, I think that there's a big chunk of it that it can do. So I think again, I've said it before. I'll say it again on this show. If you learn these skills, you'll never be out of the job. If you learn how to leverage these things instead of waiting for it to replace you, you're going to be way better off, and you're always going to be in demand rather than just sitting back and waiting for it to actually crush you. So those are my thoughts on that. I'm very interested to hear kind of are any of you in the marketing space? Do you see this happening? Or is AI wiping out entry level marketing jobs? I mean, it seems to me like there's a potential to, but it could also wipe out a lot of entry level jobs across a lot of industries. It's a very, very interesting story. Interesting stuff. Okay, so let's get into um, this employment conversation, this debate. Is AI adding jobs or is it removing a bunch of jobs? So the first story I want to go to is the downside. We'll try to end on a positive note for you guys, but this is a very interesting one. The godfather of AI warns massive unemployment, soaring profits amid capitalist AI growth. Interesting. Let's see what this says. Jeffrey Hinton, the Nobel winning, quote, godfather of AI, has warned that artificial intelligence will drive massive unemployment while significantly boosting corporate profits, deepening economic inequality. He attributes this disparity not to AI itself, but to an exploitative capitalist system where wealthy individuals use AI to replace workers, making a few richer and many poorer. Routine and mundane jobs are at most risk, whereas some sectors like healthcare could benefit from AI efficiencies, potentially expanding access and demand. Despite some companies currently retaining workers, Hinton cautions that layoffs will likely rise rapidly, outpacing labor policies and leaving many unprepared. He also highlighted broader risks, including a 10 to 20% chance that super intelligent AI could threaten humanity, and warned of AI systems operating beyond human understanding. Hinton criticized major tech firms for downplaying these dangers and dismissed universal basic income as inadequate to address the loss of human dignity associated with job displacement. Okay, so based on that ending, okay, you're going to doom and gloom everybody and then not offer a solution. Okay, great. So what are you doing other than fear mongering? I'm not sure. Yeah, so interesting. I mean, again, this is all future projections. Like he's warning that it will drive massive employment, not that it is, right? And I don't know. I think about the iPhone analogy, right? I think about I've always had this debate with people. I've had it on the show before in previous interviews. Was the invention of the iPhone, that time when Steve Jobs pulled it out of his pocket and he introduced it to the world, was that ultimately a good thing for society or a bad thing for society, right? What, benefits of smartphones and, tablets and the connectivity that we have, not just because of iPhones, but all mobile phones now. Yeah, the benefits are amazing. You basically have a supercomputer in your pocket at all times. But it obviously causes addiction. Social media obviously causes addiction. It causes mental health problems. It causes dopamine addiction. It causes a lot of negative things in society, body shaming, all these types of things that are secondary benefits that they could never have known would happen when they introduce something like this. Is the advent of ChatGPT the same type of thing? Is that a moment we'll look back on and say, man, the benefits that created in this world were unbelievable. Unbelievable wealth creation, unbelievable business opportunities, unbelievable forwarding of the human race as a whole. But it also caused some bad shit to happen, right? Will we look back on that 10 years, 15 years from now and pinpoint that as something that really, it's not like AI is brand new with ChatGPT, like it's been around for 50 years, right? But that was really the advent of it into the broader populace of the world that was democratized, right? But I mean, people are like, oh, all these different mundane jobs are going to be replaced by AI. Like, shouldn't they be though? Like, if we're trying to move things forward, shouldn't like you improve upon things like that? Like, shouldn't those things automatically, like, you realize if there's a better way? Like, you think about the evolution of the wheel. Like when a horse and buggy was your main mode of transportation, and then the vehicle is invented. Like, shouldn't that shouldn't that be worthy of replacing horse and buggy? Like, it's just better in every way, you know? That's my opinion on it. That's my thought of it is like it's the market will decide what is the best. The market will decide what is useful and what is worth their time and their money. Like this show that I have is determined by you guys, the audience, the market. If I have shitty content, you're not going to listen, you're not going to watch. If I actually have some good things to say and some productive things to say, the viewership will rise as it has been. So clearly I'm doing something right, right? It's all about the market. I do tend to agree a little bit with this I am a capitalist. I'm not a communist by any means. I don't think that there's an exploitative capitalist system. I think that's just not a productive way to frame it. But I do think that the system is probably rigged in the favor of technical oligarchs, right? Like the Bill Gateses of the world, the Sam Altmans of the world, the Elon Musks of the world. They're just pre-positioned with what they've been able to build so far in the systems that they have in place to be able to capitalize on this shit a lot quicker. They just are. Like, that's just the reality of it. Whether you think it's useful or not, they have built the systems and the things in their businesses and their lives to be able to capitalize on something like this. Because obviously, this shit costs a lot of money to run. Like, I just saw a thing the other day. I'll see if I can find the article of Sam Altman basically coming out saying that ChatGPT is going to be starting to lose over like $100 billion by 2030. Like their projection, like, a business usually is like, okay, first year we made X in revenue. The next year we doubled in revenue. Then we went up 30%. Then we went up 50%. Then we went up whatever. Like theirs is literally going down. Like they're exponentially losing more and more money every year. Like it's like the opposite trend, which is not good, obviously. So is it really making wealthier individuals wealthier, or is it just bleeding them dry of cash? It's bleeding investors dry of cash. I know that, at least right now. But so that's one side of this, right? Is this going to drive massive unemployment and replace everybody's job. I mean, if this guy is the godfather of AI, it's worth taking what he says, a little bit seriously. Um, I remain unconvinced. Like I said, I just would have to see a lot more in my life and in what I do to be able to really jump on this fear mongering bandwagon of AI is going to ruin the world and take everyone's jobs, and we're all going to be on universal income. I can't fall on that side yet. I really can't. Because then you have tools like the studies, like I said on the last episode, where 95% of freaking projects are failing. Maybe that was the one that actually got cut off. 95%. MIT did a study that 95% of AI-driven projects are failing in corporate environments. 95%, proving unprofitable. And you say it's going to take everyone's job? I don't believe you. The data doesn't lie. Like, I don't believe you. Not yet. My mind can be changed. I don't believe you when you say AI is going to take everyone's job in the next 5 years. I don't believe it. Anyway, that's my opinion on that topic. So let's go to the other side of this argument. Instead of saying, well, basically, this is kind of exactly what I'm saying here, of AI adoption declines in large U.S. firms amid profitability concerns and regulatory caution. Okay, so this is kind of the other side of this, right? Okay, here's the story. Recent reports indicate a noticeable slowdown in AI adoption among large enterprises despite earlier rapid growth and significant investments. Data from the U.S. Census Bureau and Apollo Academy reveal that while smaller businesses maintain steady AI use, firms with 250 or more employees have decreased usage due to high implementation costs, integration challenges, and underwhelming returns. MIT research highlights that only 5% of enterprise AI pilots deliver measurable financial impact. That's what I just mentioned, 95% of failing, with many failing due to brittle workflows and misalignment with daily operations, while generic AI tools primarily boost individual productivity rather than organizational performance. People using ChatGPT, for example. Conversely, Capgemini's findings show a five-fold increase in generative AI adoption over 2 years, with most firms piloting or scaling AI, but many remain unprepared for human AI collaboration and face unexpected cloud cost surges. This mixed landscape is influencing financial markets, as noted by Apollo Academy and financial analysts, where declining AI adoption among large companies is affecting valuations and trading strategies in both stock cryptocurrency sectors tied to AI applications. Overall, enterprises are navigating a complex environment, balancing rapid AI enthusiasm with practical challenges and cautious investment strategies. Okay, so in my own words, what does this mean? Bigger companies, 250 employees plus, are not pulling off AI implementation very well, clearly by the data, based on the results of this study. High implementation costs, integration challenges, and underwhelming returns. Why are the implementation costs high? Because they're just throwing money at it. Because they're big companies, they have big bankrolls, and they think that they can just throw money at stuff and it'll just work. Probably not working well. Integration challenges, what does that mean? Okay, there's tools that don't talk to each other. There's probably proprietary or sensitive data, maybe PII or PHI that needs to be protected, just different regulations that they be skirting through. And then underwhelming returns is, okay, if we're dumping all of this into this without a clear reason or goal of how this is actually going to profit us or save us money in the long run, of course you're going to have underwhelming returns. Like, duh. What the hell are you thinking, right? Like that's common sense. Now it does say there's hope here. I mean, it says that smaller businesses maintain steady AI use. Are you a small business owner? Are you under 250? Probably you're probably under a 250 employee business. That's great. That's awesome. This is one thing I wanted to highlight. This is a new part of my business, Dapper No Code, that we're rolling out, is AI education and AI audits and different abilities to come in and say, hey, here's where your business can use AI. Here's where you're bottlenecking. Here's where we can help. And then even some different AI SaaS solutions that we're building and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I get it. I think it's hard to, but I think that's the big thing here is the word misalignment. misalignment with daily operations. Like it's right there. The why this is failing is right there in the word misalignment. What does that mean? It means that they're like, oh, I think this would be cool, so let's implement it. No, it's not like, hey, this is where we're actually bottlenecking. This is where we need to improve. And here's an actual solution to pull this off. That's aligned, right? Maybe they're doing that and it's still not working. I don't know. I'm not in one of these companies. I'm just commenting on this. But I know for me, that's how I use it as a small, as a basically as a small agency owner is where's my bottleneck? Where are things actually tripping up? And then, okay, how can I employ a tool, an existing software solution, or make my own AI solution that will help me get through and blow through this challenge, because that delivers a measurable result. I can say, okay, I saved this much time per week doing this. I can say I saved this much money doing this, and it leads to measurable results, which then I can say, hey, this was worth doing. But yeah, I think that the bigger the company gets, the more bureaucracy there is, the more red tape there is, and everyone needs their money, everyone needs their high paycheck, and everyone needs this kind of stuff. So it's no wonder that a lot of these projects are failing and they're not working out, which means that it's not replacing a lot of jobs. If these big companies are being like, hey, we're going to lay off 4,000 people, right? Then we're going to take all this AI stuff and replace all these people and then lay that off. And then all of a sudden, this AI is in here and it's not doing the job as well as these other people did. And now where are they left? They got to hire these people back. They got to bring them back. They got to do all this stuff. Are there reports of that? I don't know. I didn't look that far into this story, but I bet you there's probably examples you could find. I bet you there's examples where they're like, yeah, so do you want to come back to work? Maybe like your AI replacement kind of sucks. Like maybe you could come back and learn to work with the AI. Oh, why didn't we think of that in the first place? No shit, Sherlock. It's probably the better way to do it right now. So yeah, I don't know. I think we're headed towards a very interesting 5 years of this world where there is going to be people who see massive success with AI. I think there's going to be people that see massive failure with AI. And I think it really comes down to that word alignment. And I know it's almost like a cringe type of word. It's like a buzzword kind of thing. Like it's used a lot in the coaching space, personal development space, but it's true. Like if you're not aligned on what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go, no amount of money you throw at a problem or solution you throw at a problem is going to fix it. You have to actually think shit through. You have to think these things through and be ready to say, okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's maybe where the backstop is if this doesn't work, where we're going to stop this. We're going to maybe pivot to something else. And it's just like the government, man. It's just like it's slow moving. It can be effective, usually not, and it's full of people, which always screw things up. Like big companies and government, people forget they're full of people. A company isn't just a company. Like a company is a piece of paper. It's a fictitious thing. It's a creation. It's a wealth vehicle, because businesses are not people. In the eyes of the law, they might be in some cases, but they're run by people. Like people still screw up. People still don't think things through. People have lives. People have stress. People have divorces. They have kids. They have shit that happens to them all the time. And that's just the reality of it. That's just the reality of the chaos of what goes on. So I don't know. I think that's my thoughts on this as well. I think that there's probably, again, I tend to take a middle road with a lot of stuff. I think that there's definitely examples where, bigger companies are laying off a lot of people. You might be someone who was laid off by a big company due to AI, innovations and projects and initiatives. But I also think that there's probably companies who have refused to do that maybe don't even make the news, that have just been like, you know what, I think we're just going to train our people on how to use this more effectively, how to, kind of do this across the organization, and then see where that comes from. That's probably a lot harder to measure, which is why, when you get to a big business like that, maybe you're publicly owned, you have a board you have to report to, like there's a lot of things you have to kind of just show. You can't just do shit randomly, So I get that. I do get that. But yeah, anyways, very, very interesting times we live in, and that's why we offer AI audits now at Dapper No Code. So you can hit me up if you want to go through your own personal AI audit. How can you and your business leverage AI to better streamline your operations and make more money, and actually be aligned with how it's going to help. So that is my pitch for the day for you guys. If you want to check that out, you can go to dappernocode.com and you can get in touch with me or my team, and we'll let you know what we can do. It's a brand new thing. There's not a lot of information we have out there about that, but it's a brand new thing we're working on. So, man, we live in exciting times. We live in crazy times. Don't give in to the fear mongering, the fear porn that's out there. But also be a little paranoid. Like, AI is coming for a lot of repetitive things, for a lot of mundane things. It can definitely be used as a huge supplement to almost anything and everything you're doing. And there's a lot of ways you can get into it without having to learn how these LLM models work, how coding works, all this kind of stuff. That's really what I've been shouting from the rooftops since about 2018, really. So, all right. That is going to be all for this episode, guys. I really appreciate you joining. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and the show, whether the podcast or YouTube channel, whatever you're watching or listening to. That's really, really appreciated. Thank you all for coming back and listening this week. I know we didn't have a show last week, so I appreciate all of you coming back. Please share this episode with someone you think. I'd be very interested in your opinions. Leave a comment below. I'm interested on your thoughts on all this. And we'll talk to you guys on Friday. See you later.
Thanks for tuning in to Tech Bytes, your go-to show for software business and technology. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with our latest episodes, insights, and stories. Hungry for more? Dive deeper into the world of no-code by visiting dappernocode.com. Your journey to building amazing software without coding skills starts there. Connect with like-minded creators and unlock a world of resources tailored just for you. Subscribe now. Explore Dapper No Code and let's innovate together.